hasn't been good, and it's been a couple of things, but one in particular is the audio. And I know Roger and Dennis have been working on it, and it worked well at the Spring Fling. But when we're in a meeting like this, it is really imperative and respectful for everybody to speak up.
Okay.
We can't get a good recording for the Zoom people, and we can't get a good recording on the camera unless you speak up. And so it's really very, very important that everybody takes that into account, because there are owners who are only attending it by Zoom. Barbara's is on at Zoom, and they can't hear you if you don't speak up. Okay. I mean, it's really a problem.
Can I also add that when one person is speaking and other people are having a background conversation, I can't hear the speaker.
Right.
So it's important that only one person talk at a time.
And when we're in the meeting at the church, it's going to be extremely important that everybody use the microphone. We now have wired
now that we have them.
And they should not fail.
And you have to hold it close to your mouth.
Within about
it's really
2 inches,
important that you keep it
directly
close.
in front of your mouth. If you turn your head, you're gone. You got to be talking right at the mic.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Call the meeting to order. You got proper notice, John?
Proper notice. Notice was posted last week.
Quick
According to statutory.
roll call. Oh. Let's see. Who are we missing?
We've got 3 that's not here. Claire Dewhurst, who's working, obviously. Monica Heigl, and George Fisher, who's up north.
Okay. And Barbara's on or not on?
Barb is on there. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. My comments.
You hit the record.
Guess I should thank you for, maybe thank you for electing me. that's to be determined. To be determined.
The jury's out.
I want to thank everybody who came Saturday to the picnic. It was truly a great success. And I want to especially thank the people who worked, including Jack and Jeff and Ed. We came in and helped set up. We came in at about 10:30 and worked diligently all the way up until 3. But it was really worth it. Special thanks, so I want to make sure I mention this Monday also, is to Karen Baker for getting all the prizes. That was phenomenal. And she handled the raffle really well. So,
And may I add to it, the generosity of this community is unmatched.
yeah,
We took
$1,000,
$1,023 to hold, in addition to all the supplies we collected.
One of the two 50-50 winners donated the money back. So we want to make sure we mention her, and I don't know who it was, because I was off with the commissioner.
It's Jack Carlson.
Jack Carlson.
Okay.
Yeah. He lives as 203.
4.
4. Okay.
The commissioner did come. We had a little incident, evidently a political. Somebody thought it was a political thing, us bringing her, and it was not. She was here, and I think, John, did you send an email to him to explain to him why she was here?
I sent just before I came in.
Okay, thank you. It was not a political thing. It wasn't meant to be. I understand it might have been a sort of a political jab someplace along the line, but I didn't hear it. All right.
Is there a scene?
No, there was no scene.
Oh.
It was just brought up later.
Because I was.
But anyways.
The gentleman basically stated that he felt that the politics shouldn't be brought into this type of thing, and it wasn't politics. We were bringing her here, as you said, to help us in the situation that we have with our very serious homeless situation.
Which is what her job is.
Yes, right. Yeah. No.
And I did.
She's not running for election, and we didn't
Yeah.
violate anything by bringing out her opponent, and that was the main gist.
I took her for a golf cart ride right up through it, and she saw it firsthand. There were people in the camp, and it was just truly a mess, trash, worse than when John and I went the week before. So she sent off an email while I was driving her on the cart on the way back, and got a response from code enforcement that they would be there Monday, but now we're gonna have to call her back. Let you do that?
I wanna go back, I wanna go up after the,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
had 2 officers here today, as I said. The frustrating part was, what have you done? We gave them some trash bags, told them to
Try
clean
to
up.
go to whoever's speaking.
I doubt they're gonna be very clean.
Well, he said in it, or she said, no, he said, the response came from Jake, who I gather was with code enforcement, and he said he would be up there on Monday and ask them to leave. So we'll find out a little bit more
They
about
they
that. We'll
didn't
have more
come
by the
yesterday,
time
they did
we
not
get to
come
the
yesterday,
meeting.
but they were here today, and we'll see what happens when they get up there. And he, again, and Jake was here. You know, Jake
Oh,
was
that
one.
was Jacob was
Yeah.
here.
And they said that, I guess that's our property, isn't it? And I said, yeah, we've kind of gone over this before. It's not our property, you know, so.
Monica's joined us.
Okay, all right, very good. That's really all I have for the comments to start with. The minutes. We reviewed the minutes?
You will, no, you'll get them on Monday,
Okay,
with my
we'll be on
report,
Monday. All right,
yeah.
thank you. Back to the board meeting next week. Financial matters,
That'll be taken into a report also. John will have the report.
treasury report,
Yeah.
accounts receivable, you'll have all that.
Yep.
Units with legal problems.
We've got a couple issues. We've got finalization of the foreclosure on the 762. They're in the process of serving them in Kentucky, probably have done so with the final papers, but I'll have a full report on that. And the other unit on 718 that's in arrears have called today and want to square away their accounts, so that's the good news.
That's a good news, yeah.
Did anything happen with the unit in Springdale? Did that sell?
The bank took it over, yes.
They did.
Yeah, it'll be in my report too. The bank owns it now. Okay, we've been in touch with them. And speaking of unit transfers, the prices are, as you know, are getting better and better. Pimatel, unit 6, what is it? Is it 600? Anybody want to guess? Anybody want to guess what it's sold for?
Wasn't it over $4.99?
I'm going to say it's over.
It's over. They said there's other
Yeah.
people bid. They had put it in for
Yeah.
$4.99, and then people were overbidding at $4.99.
It's all served, all furnished, 510.
Oh, and it wasn't furnished, huh?
How big a unit?
23.
Yeah, I think it's just 20.
23 with a
Yeah.
courtyard and a
Yeah.
carport,
Yeah.
and it looks nice from the outside and from the pictures.
High cotton.
Yeah, where are you gonna go?
Where you gonna go? Well, they're going back to Rhode Island.
Well, hey,
It's amazing.
okay, second floor renovations.
Okay, we're gonna resume construction on Monday. Confirmation of additional 6 units with the original contractor. We've changed the topping where we're going to use a paint, and hopefully that's gonna result in considerable savings in the project.
And we still have not heard back from our other bidder.
John, when you say you're gonna resume, you're just resuming the surface reconditioning, or are you doing
We're
the
resuming
construction part?
no, the important part of this project is the underpinning. So we're doing the underpinning supports things. We just changed how to protect the top for the water migration.
Okay.
So everything's gonna be, the same. They go in and they open it up, and they replace rotted wood, they replace any rotted bolts or what they call buckets that hold it up. And so that'll all be good for another 40 years. Can anybody hear?
Barbara?
Yes, I can hear you all very well, thank you.
Thanks, Barbara.
Just wanna check. Okay. All right, the operations manual.
I don't know if that's gonna be ready or not. I haven't heard from Claire. I don't think it's been distributed, has it?
No, it has not. I
All
owe
right.
Claire a revision, but I was out of town for a week and
right.
company for a week, so.
That
I'm
may
a
be
little
handled
behind.
another month.
Okay.
That may be a
It
month.
might keep pushing. I'm
Yeah.
gonna try and do it over the weekend, but that doesn't mean nobody's gonna have it before
Yeah,
the meeting.
no, so, We can take that off too. If
Okay.
we don't feel you're ready, I'll just get it off.
I might not, John.
Okay.
Because I haven't been able to get to it. It's the eyes.
Well, you'll want to have everybody to have it for a period of time anyway,
think
so,
so.
yeah, so don't push
So we were
yourself.
just
Take that
cleaning it
out of
up
there.
Just don't push
from the
yourself.
last
Yeah.
review.
Okay.
After the spring fling, we went over that a little bit.
Do you know how many people there were?
Yeah, over 300.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
I count.
Wow.
And I lost count at about 285. And then there was some that were on the grass. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we had over 300 people there.
Wow, that's great.
Which is,
I have a short video
Yeah, I know.
that
saw
I
you.
put on the website, and the cameraman wasn't real good, but it does show a lot of people there. And I did get Misty Servia's little introduction and some of the raffle. So
Yeah, I saw you at the
Yep,
raffle.
yep, yep. We should also mention Cynthia Ingram.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
What a
sure,
job
yeah.
she did.
Yes, she did phenomenal.
Yeah. I've heard fantastic comments, you know, walking and at the pools and everything.
Yeah.
People really had a good time.
I'm sorry, I meant to bring her up at the beginning.
Well, the other Wildwood people were walking and they walked over and they were like, what's this? This looks really nice.
Well, one of my guests was from Wildewood too.
Ah.
And he was like, and I had two guests from up Seven Winds. And they were all like, wow, that was so nice. You guys do this. He says, we get together in the carport and sit in our chairs and talk. That's our get together.
Great music.
Oh, yeah.
Great
Yeah.
music.
Yeah, Dennis did a great job
That
with
was all
that.
Dennis, yeah.
Oh, was
speaking
it?
of that, don't forget tonight.
Yeah,
Friends
and
of
tonight
the
we have
show.
movie night.
I'm not coming unless I can bring popcorn.
Hey, bring it on.
Bring it.
It says no food.
Well, that was when
Well,
we were gonna
popcorn's
have
not
it on the tennis court, or in the parking lot, I think.
Oh, okay. Good, 'cause you
Popcorn's
gotta
not really
have
food.
popcorn.
Yeah, that's not food.
It's not food.
That's snacks. It doesn't say no snacks there.
That's right.
There you go.
You just have to pick it up after you leave.
That's
Yeah.
too.
I'm sure
Yeah, we're
that-
not allowed to feed the birds.
Right, you gotta pick it up after you leave.
We did a great cleanup job too. Everybody pitched in.
Oh, you want to mention that couple from Sherwood, the new couple that bought Leslie's place?
Assenheim or O'Dally or whatever it is.
Cynthia said that they worked their butts off to clean up,
Yeah.
to help set up and to help
Everybody
clean
did.
up.
Everybody
So,
was out there. But I
We'll have a
did
next.
find one plastic knife on the
Oh,
grounds.
no.
Oh, no.
Yes, I did.
With a homeless person.
Okay, let's moving on here. All right, here's the elephant in the room. John, have you redid the figures? We're
I'll
still at
have
the
them in the
same.
report. They're the same. They're not gonna
Do
change.
we want to discuss it a little bit here?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I mean,
We're still looking at the $390,000 deficit that we need to make up by next March. We
Bake
need
sale.
we need our surplus back.
sale.
We're going into hurricane season and we got no surplus.
the bottom line is, as I had a previous report, is that the projection is that we need to bring in $700 a unit to repay the operating surplus and to have enough funds available to pay the insurance bill at a minimum of a 12% increase next year, in March. So what does that mean? It means that you've had to figure out in which way you want to collect this money. I think Steve has made a good suggestion, and it would make it a little bit easier to pay it over 4 quarters, which would mean that July,
$175.
$175 a quarter.
$58
It would be payable in July and obviously October, and then January, and that would get 3 quarters of it in. And then to make it easy, we'll make that 4th quarter payment, and we can take the money to pay the insurance out of the surplus that's there again. But when the fourth quarter, which actually would be the April quarter, comes in, everything would be even. And that seems to be the most palatable, but that's up to you.
I think that's a good idea, except for one thing. If you gotta wait 2 quarters, we're gonna receive half the money that we're looking for. Will we give the option to just say if somebody to pay it all at one shot?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
That
Oh,
would- you would
anybody
have
can
that
Yeah, I mean,
pay.
if you want, if somebody wanted to pay all $700 to get it done and over with.
Yeah.
I know there's people out there that are gonna need the 4 quarters to pay it.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah, no, you will gladly
Yeah.
take the money first.
Okay.
But the
As
good
long as we
news
have
is
that option, that's
three-
fine.
Yeah.
See, since it's not due until March, basically, most people will have had 3/4 payment, you know.
Right.
But anybody that wants to write a check, now, you know, this always asks, if I write a check, can I get a discount? Unfortunately, the state doesn't allow it. Doesn't allow it.
2 times 0 is still
Somebody
0.
said that?
Yeah,
Is this considered an assessment, or will this be
Yes.
an?
took the words out of my mouth.
Yes, it
You
is.
can do a budget augmentation, which doesn't sound like special assessment.
Budget augmentation.
I like it too.
You know, so if we do a budget augmentation, it means we've added X amount to the insurance fund, or we could call it a special assessment. If you want to avoid the special assessment, it's both legal terms.
I think what might help people understand is while I was waiting to have my blood drawn today, Bay News 9 had something about the legislature is getting together to discuss property taxes.
Yes.
And the fact that it's hurting homeowners and associations, and so if anybody watches Bay News 9, they saw that and they realize it's a statewide, probably nationwide problem.
Yeah.
And hopefully they can understand what our predicament is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what the legislature is dealing with right now is almost counter to us. The legislature is concerned that the citizens' insurance, quote unquote, is what the state has set up to help people. The rates are going through the roof and they're trying to get rid of the citizens. And so that's only gonna go to private insurers who are gonna raise the prices. And then they're gonna have to worry about dealing with it. So it's a double-edged sword really right now, and it's tough.
Well, I didn't get to hear the whole report,
Yeah,
but,
yeah. Yeah, no.
I think as far as insurance goes, I think we're getting right towards the top, and it's gonna go over the top and start down, because I just got my renewal on my homeowner policy for my condo, and it was only $20 more than last year.
Our insurance company got canceled, we got bought out. We went bankrupt, and basically it took over by a company in South Carolina, in the state of Florida, until they can find a buyer.
And Steve is right on, because the old bell curve that he was talking about is, you know, we had it, we were, 2009 and 10, it was up there. And then it's,
I'm hoping that's a good sign.
Well, if we're doing this augmentation, or whatever we're gonna call it, are we gonna do that every year?
not according, not, we have to do this augmentation is because we had a 12% in the budget last year, it came in at 18. This year we put in an 18%, it came in at 26.5. So if, you know, having all that in mind, if we don't have more than a 12%, we will not. We should, these calculations will have us right on target.
And also, hopefully, maybe the insurance goes
Yeah.
down, because we're gonna talk about maybe layering.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna be
We're gonna
meeting
put
with
him to work, that's what I told him.
This has no effect on the budget itself, this is separate from the budget.
Yes.
So it could be increases in the budget ultimately. That's fine. I'm just-
7.5% cost of living increase, that's gonna be the budget
We're
committee's job.
expecting that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we call it a budget augmentation, it means that we will have to, it does increase the budget, the maintenance fees, either way you call it. And also, the law requires a 2-week notice
Yeah.
to the owners before you can do it, whether it be a special assessment or an increase in the budget. So what happens, you'll discuss it on Monday and say, yeah, we need $700 and we want to collect it over 4 months or 4 quarters. Then before
can't
your
vote.
May meeting, you can't do it, you just set your plans. Then 2 weeks before the May meeting, or 3 weeks before the May meeting, or whatever, 2 weeks is the minimum, we'll send out a notice to all owners that in May, you're gonna enact this, and the reason for it.
Do we
And then
vote
maybe
on
vote
it then on
In May, you vote on it,
No,
and then
we
April,
don't
and
vote on it
then
Monday.
July, we start collecting for it.
We
So
vote on it in
time
May.
frame gets us pretty good shape.
I think we need to act on this as soon as possible. And I'm not being a fatalist or anything, but I have people in Lakeside who are like in panic mode because they can't afford. And so, I mean, they're really at their limit as is. So if we explain, you know, $175 a quarter, they can start budgeting now immediately for that July.
Well, we'll do that Monday.
Yeah.
We'll do that Monday, but we can't statutorily
Right.
do it
We
till the
can say
fall.
this is what it's gonna be.
Right.
But we can't vote on it.
Right. But what I'm saying is, but
But
we
you can
need
tell
to
them.
make it,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, quite out there so that they can start preparing.
You gotta stop going to Starbucks in the morning, that's all. That'll take
When,
care of the
when will this take
$58 a
effect
month.
then,
No more
once
touching
you,
toes.
Right now, it would be in effect for the, as everything goes to plan, July.
July.
So there'll be a payment due July, October, January, and April. Or one handy dandy check.
in July?
Yeah.
I'm sure you're aware of it, but it seems like it'd really be important, particularly in terms of what Tammy said, that people understand that this is not a WWS matter alone.
Absolutely.
That this is
Statewide, or it's
local,
probably nationwide.
state.
Hopefully they were at the annual meeting and they heard. And we got people, residents in Wildewood too, that are, what, $3,000 per unit is what they're paying, and we're paying $990?
Well, and Spring Lakes is having a huge special assessment.
Yeah.
Well, the pig building's over on 43rd in Ironwood, $6,500 a pop for the roof.
Yes,
Whoa.
yes, yeah.
So, it's, you know,
But
They
the
will
important
find
part,
out.
what Steve's bringing up is if you divide our insurance per unit, it turns out to be slightly under $1,000. Where if you go to Wildwood 2, it's more than double per unit.
per unit, yeah.
Because it's hard to equate. They only have 48 units, so the insurance is much less than ours. But if you divide it by 48, it's twice what we're paying. And that brings me up to just, they come over and they met with Steve and I, and they want to join.
What is it, join?
They want to join us.
Well, they lost their opportunity, we wanted to go in on the cameras.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I have two questions.
Yes.
If we do the budget augmentation and do it over the 4 periods, that's going to put us into next year's payments, where there could be other adjustments as well.
Well,
Right?
there
That's-
will be.
That's a true
Yeah.
statement,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If we do the special assessment, will we be sending out separate bills for that special assessment?
Yes.
So that has a bearing on what we might do as well.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to do something different with the other bills anyway, right?
Yeah, even those of you who have automatic deductions, we have to make changes with the bank. There's a lot to be done.
Right.
That's why we can't go past May, because we need that month of June to get everything squared away for proper collection.
On that note, when he was calling it a budget augmentation, and then people are having their new budget come in, I don't think we should call it that, because they're gonna get confused.
Yeah, I think it just ought to be an assessment.
Insurance assessment,
Yeah.
Yeah, insurance assessment.
that's fine.
It's just,
Right, That's why we discuss it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have to live with it.
Could we do it on the off months, when the HOAs are pulled? Would that be better? A different month, I mean, it just, you know, if you say, okay, your HOAs are X number of dollars every quarter, well then, and you add the $175 on top of it, or a separate invoice, could you do it on a month that the HOAs don't come out? I don't know.
It gets really complicated, Danny, in the fact that, because you've got people who are paying, that come out automatic deduction, the bank's not gonna do that in the
Okay,
second time.
well, I just know,
Yeah,
well, I
it
figured,
you know, if we planned it a year in advance, it might work.
okay,
But to
that's
do it
fine.
this quick, it's not gonna work.
Okay,
But it's a good suggestion, I mean, yeah, I can see, get a little relief, you know.
right.
if they know, basically now, they still have 2 months to find that $175.
So, one additional thing, if I have mine automatically deducted, if I wanna write a check and not have you change that, then we've gotta set a deadline is when that check has to be in. Yes? So you don't go change my automatic deduction?
That's right, I mean, your check would be, minimally due of $175.
Right.
If you want to pay it all, yes.
But you'd want that before
Well,
we
you'd
get
want
to
to do
July
it, yeah,
1st.
you
We
want
wanna
to do it
in
by
June.
You want to do it by the 10th of June?
Yeah, so-
By the 10th of July.
Maybe that needs to be in whatever
Yeah,
letter goes
yeah.
out to clarify. Because if somebody sends in a check on July 1st and you've already adjusted the payment, then they're gonna be a
They'll get
little
slammed
PO
twice.
having it twice.
Yeah, and I've got to check into the bank if they'll even change it. We may have to require people sending it.
Yeah, you may.
Because the bank may not increase their deduction for those 4 months.
Might be
So it may
easier.
be,
I
it
think-
may
I
be
think
better we just have people pay it separately.
I think
Yeah.
that's
Separate
probably
with
a
the
good
check.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be cleaner that way,
Yeah.
I think it'd be
Yeah.
easier.
Good, that's good.
Okay. Any other,
I ask
anybody
a
else on
question?
that?
Yes, Barbara?
Go.
Go ahead, Barbara.
Yeah, maybe you, thanks. Maybe you said this before, John. Is it the $700 is the final amount?
Yeah, we're gonna recalculate it, but you'll have it in the manager's report, and that's what it has been. The only difference since we've been together, I did let Steve know, I was a little surprised. We got a bill from Philadelphia Insurance for $3,100 yesterday, and I had no idea what that was, and it turns out that we had a slip and fall that was quite expensive in 2020. And we have a $5,000 deductible, and the insurance is billing us $3,100 as a part of that deductible. So we got a little curveball for $3,000, which I don't think is going to bug us in any real manner whatsoever. So yes, the $700 right now is the figure, but you'll have it in calculation form with a report on Friday.
Okay. And the second thing I wanted to mention was, I remember the prior assessments for the roof and insurance back in 2006, I think it was. We were instructed we had to write separate checks.
Okay.
Yeah,
You couldn't combine it with the HOA fee.
Yeah, that'd be a better way to do it.
that's cleaner. You're right.
The only other thing about that, John, I talked about this, is the amounts will be a little different. A 2,300 unit might be a little
Yeah.
over,
Yeah.
and your smaller units are gonna be a little less, because we have to do it based on the unit
Proration
size.
of the unit size. So
So-
somebody might get a bill for $725 and somebody might get a bill for $675, but that's the way the documents are set up. And I'll have that calculated for you in the report on Friday too.
Very good, appreciate that, 'cause that might help a couple of you people a little bit. Okay, all right, updating the wind, how we doing the wind migration?
Little curveball here. I ordered the wind mitigation as you all allowed me to do, and they said, well, you haven't done any changes. I don't know if it's worth you doing it or not. And so we're having a little back and forth. So they have not agreed to it yet. I tried to just update it for us, kind of like we did with the building valuation, save some money. But they're being buffeted. They want to send somebody out and do a massive investigation and charge a whole lot of money. So I'm trying, we're still there and nobody's not taking everyone is still taking our wind mitigation form. So I'm trying to negotiate on that. So nothing, I want to put it there to let you know we don't have it yet.
Okay.
Long way around it.
Okay, new business?
There'll be a couple communications that you'll have, and of course, set the date for, we've been requested to set the date for the Fall Fest. Well, the iron's hot and everybody's had a good time.
Well, there could be a budgetary concern on that.
No,
No,
No.
okay.
No.
Taken care of.
I was asked that question.
yes, there will not be a budgetary concern.
Okay.
We just raided the pool funds.
You weren't supposed to tell her.
No,
Okay,
no,
don't go there.
I'm just kidding.
There won't be any, there'll be 6 inches less water in the pools.
No heat in the house.
And
No, wait a minute.
We're selling the bushes around the pools.
Closing the odd number pools 1, 3, 5, and 7.
We were looking at a date, what was it, the 12th of October?
5th or 12th?
Of October?
No,
No,
November.
November.
We want to keep it
Before-
far enough away from Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
So we-
Thanksgiving is gonna be the
Thanksgiving
25th.
I would say the 5th of November then, just to, yeah, just because you don't get as many people that close to Thanksgiving as you would otherwise.
Yeah, it seems right that point up, you know,
Yeah.
people start leaving the week
Can't
before
call it
Thanksgiving.
Oktoberfest.
No, we can't. It's gotta be Fall Fest.
Pilgrims, let me tell you about them.
Put that down as a tentative.
Cynthia's already said she wants to turn it into an international festival where everybody would be encouraged to bring indigenous foods to your
We did that,
history,
we
to your.
did that,
Yeah.
a couple of years ago.
Yeah. So anyway, that'll be forthcoming.
Okay. Managers report, what do you got?
Okay, I think we should bring Richard in now.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right, no, we
How
can
would you
have
like?
him sit. Stu.
This is Richard Moran, he lives in, I think it's 244. Hey, Rich, why don't you close the door behind you, please? Sure. Rich, your unit number is 2. This is a test. Your unit number?
244.
Okay. Have a
That
seat,
was-
please.
That was good, Jack.
Yeah. How long you been here, Rich?
20 years in October.
Good. We are, I've kind of primed the board to say that you have a little request regarding your daughter's residency.
Yes, she's 26 months finished that program, finished 2 years of college with I think all A's and everything. She's going on to another college after this next semester. And she was working even 2 jobs for a while, but got to be a little much. And she's like night and day. I mean, I love my daughter to death. I've been with her since she's born, and she's lived with me her whole life. The mother abandoned her, more or less. Was something I didn't realize when I met her, that she had a very bad drug problem before I met her, and she was sober when I met her. But that changed, and my daughter's very sorry for what she said a couple of times under the influence. I mean, she was in a bad way for a long time with the drugs, and it did everything I could, and I just couldn't keep up. And finally, she met somebody that had nothing to do with drugs, and started dating him. And it wasn't for him, because I had a rehab all set up through my family. My sister-in-law's first child from her is married to my younger brother, and she was married before that, and her eldest son died of overdose. And she started a foundation, hooked up with other women that did it, for some years, and there was an open invitation, because these places cost a fortune. If you can't, if you don't have the real good insurance or money, you're out of luck. They're like, some of them start at $40,000 a month and go up from there. And so she was, my sister-in-law told me, Rich, whatever Taylor's in a bad way, I know. I've met this other woman. I've already put 3 grown men through it. It's a lifetime program. They're all doing well. But I met this woman who had put 350 people through doing this type of work. And so she hooked up with her, and she had fundraisers and stuff. And but my daughter would have nothing to do with it, coming from family, as probably some of you have heard this before. The worst person you can say, well, they're going to help us. No, I don't want to, But thank God for this kid, David Izzy. He was born in, I think, Lithuania. Came over here when he was 7 years old, doing real good. In fact, he's building a hotel in downtown Sarasota. They already knocked that, got the approval from the board, and he's young. He's only a few years older than my daughter. And, so that's a real good development in her life. But, she was going to write a letter. She, wrote like a couple of letters, and I said, hey, look, I can handle this, and, nobody knows you better than me. And so she's doing real good. And the other thing is, too, if she can't come back here, I don't know what's going to happen, because the rent's $1,200 for a single apartment. My friend was telling me in Palmetto they were fighting over a place that was a total, it was dirty and everything, and it was like $1,500 a month for like a one-bedroom apartment, and they had like a crowd of people there. And, you know, I'm hearing that all over again. There's no way she can afford that. She can afford zero rent if she was home with me again. But you can drug test her anytime. I mean, the place that she's been for over 2 years, they drug test her, you know, it could be 5 times a week or once a week. You know, they don't tell them and they just do it. And she's been perfect since then. And, you know, I hope you can forgive some of the things, how she acted when she was around here was, you know, I apologize for that. But you can always throw us out if anything happens, because, you know, I would have to sell my condo if she can't stay here, because I need to help her. And she can't afford the rent around here. So, you know, you can put any stipulations, any rules out, you know, that you can check any time and have the freedom to contact me or her. You know, you can show up at my door and say, oh, we're here for Taylor's drug test. Come on in. Because, you know, I want you to be reassured that she's not really a bad person. She has a lot of love in her, and she can do great things when she's like this. You know, and when she was a little kid, she was amazing. You know, the stuff she used to do, the stuff that she used to write. Things she could play piano like it was. Oh, as soon as Dad used to play a little bit. You know, so I got you know, from the pawn shop, I got a secondhand flute because I figured that was quieter than a saxophone or a clarinet. So, and but then when I did that, all of a sudden she didn't. You know, oh, I'm done with the piano. You know, but
Rich, if I can ask,
yes,
her felony situations, or what type of felony convictions has she had?
She had, I don't know if it was for the drugs. She got they charged her with a felon for her scratching my arm and it was bleeding. And I didn't ask them. They said, well, you know, they're taking her. Oh, we're going to lock her up. Do that. We can't keep coming back here. You know, there was, you know, nothing that I said. And the fact they never even brought the charge up. It's just like sitting there, like, you know, all her records were supposed to be expunged, but you know, with this arm thing, you know. I don't think that was ever expunged. It could still find it there, even though the county, the local, nobody is charging her with anything, and it's been like that was, you know, two and a half years ago or whatever.
So if her record were to be reviewed at this time, would there be felony convictions on her record?
I don't know that. I don't know that, but it was supposed to be expunged, and then they said, don't worry about it, you know, they're passing a new law, but I don't know. I don't know what.
The reason I asked for it is, I think you know, because of our interactions when she had to leave because of her record and the document problems.
That
and
was...
Richard was quite helpful in two ways. It was as hard as it was to have his daughter taken away or sent out. He agreed, and he prevented her from living here because it was in conflict with the documents at that time.
Right.
And so I think it would be very important to see if in fact record has been expunged and she has no outstandings or no conviction of a felony on record, then the board might be able to look at it in a different way. I'm just trying to help everybody understand. If you could get
Can I
the
ask a
record.
question?
Go ahead, Barb.
Yes. And if this is too personal, you know, feel free to not answer. How long has she been clean now?
26 months.
Oh, very good. And I mean, it would have gone a long way if, as part of taking responsibility for her prior actions, if she could have come today.
Oh, well, somebody said it would be better if I would speak.
Well, both of you, but.
And he's sitting right
I
here.
I only say that
Because I could have got her to come, no problem.
Right.
Well, she could always come Monday if the board continues on or if takes a look at the record, but
Okay.
I thought that it would be just best for you to come at this time.
Right.
Barb, I didn't know, I could have asked her.
I only bring this up because we have the situation in our family. Fortunately, not in Florida, but back in New York, and when they're in these programs, it's difficult to kind of talk about, but it's it goes a long way for them to show action in taking responsibility.
Yeah, she does that. She's always talking about her soul and God won't forgive her. She feels, horrible. I always talk her up out of that. But most of the time she's doing real good. But she worries about that. But I see, in her that there's no way. And like right from the beginning, when she tried alcohol, it made her sick, and she won't touch it. And what she knows, how much she's lost years in her life, she is. I can't see her ever doing a drug ever again, no matter how bad it gets, because she knows now when she's like this that's where she wants to be.
Richard, is she on any medication?
I think she was on and off medications. They tried to, when she was in there.